One misconception that people have about self employment that I like to clear up is that you all of a sudden become free of time, free of energy, free of challenges. None of that is true. You become more responsible, have more challenges, have less time. And that is the life of an entrepreneur.
You are listening to the Self-Employed Success Podcast. This is your source for inspiration, advice, and strategies for building financial independence without a traditional corporate job. Each episode features interviews with successful entrepreneurs, freelancers, and business owners who have achieved financial freedom through self-employment. Whether you're just starting out on your entrepreneurial journey or you're a seasoned pro looking for new ideas, this podcast will give you the tools and insights you need to create a life and business that you love. Join us as we explore the world of self-employment and learn how to build the income, the freedom, and fulfillment you deserve. Welcome to the show, Tony. I am so excited to have you on and having you share your story with us as far as being successful as a self-employed individual. The title of this episode is Rising Above Circumstances, Discovering Your True Potential. I love this title so much because personally for me, I remember contemplating wanting to remove myself from the corporate handcuff, which by the way, I enjoyed, right? But I couldn't find my potential. I couldn't find where to start. And so I'd love to dive in with you in helping us figuring out how do we discover this potential of us. But before we do that, we want to hear about Tony. Who is Tony? What do you do today? How did you get to where you are today? Tell us your story.
Thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate it. The best, most favorite titles that I have is husband and father. Those are the most important roles that I play in my life. As far as what I've done over the years and continue to do today is being an entrepreneur. The difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur is this. A business owner may own a store. They may own a company who sells a product or service. An entrepreneur is constantly looking for ways in life, not just in business, but in life to make improvements, to do things differently, to take a path that others haven't taken. And it's a drive. As an entrepreneur, you feel it. It's a drive. You're not necessarily tied to one company, but you're tied to the idea that you can make a more substantial change in people's lives. And that typically comes from starting some type of venture, some type of business or organization. But your passion is starting them, not necessarily running them. So you may create an idea, you may create a business, but you may offload that to someone else. Because again, your passion is to find solutions, not to necessarily run companies. So I've been an entrepreneur for 32 years. I've had 5 companies during that period of time. Right now, I'm speaking to audiences across the world, across the globe, about entrepreneurship. More importantly, about the mindset and the attitude that any of us, even as individuals, have to have in order to succeed. And success comes in a lot of different flavors. Success in life, success in relationships, success in health, success in our careers and businesses, and really what it takes to get to that level. And that's what I'm focused on today.
You talk about that mindset, right? To be a successful entrepreneur. I want to dive in a little bit more in that point with you, Tony, if that's okay. Because one of the things that we are here to talk about and focus on is rising above circumstances. In your misconception about self-employment, you highlighted for us that a lot of people think that once you are an entrepreneur, you are free, right? You have all the time, you're successful. And you said, well, that's not true. There are a lot of things that are going to happen. And so in your experience, and what we're looking for is support to help us understand how to overcome and rise above the situation that comes our way as we work through a journey of being self-employed. What are some examples of how to do that well?
Great question. And I would answer that in this way. When you are employed by an individual or a company, you go to work, you have a set amount of time that you have to be there. And now, with everyone working remote, you still have requirements, you still have deadlines, and you still have projects to complete. However, if you really, really think about it, you are helping another person who started that company fulfill their lifelong dream. So you are one piece of a 1,000-piece puzzle working towards someone else's goals, towards someone else's dreams. When you're looking to start a business or you are in business, you are working toward your goals and your dreams. And inherently, you're going to have more energy to do that because you're closer to a goal or dream than you are working for someone else. Meaning that every single day you have an opportunity to affect a positive change. You have less time as an entrepreneur than you do as an employee. You have less freedom. You're constantly on the clock, so to speak. But those aren't negatives. Those are positives. Meaning that you have 24 hours a day and you can work as much as you want toward your goals. What I typically do when I'm faced with some type of challenge is I remember why I started my business or my company. I remember the goals that I have, the dreams that I have, and I keep those at the forefront. I have a poster on my wall that's framed that has several goals listed within. And oftentimes when you face something challenging, I'll just glance up at that and I'll remember exactly why I'm doing what I do. And then what I find is those challenges seem less important because I have this big picture in mind. And clients do pay late. We bid on opportunities that we don't get. We have clients who did not renew. You have potential or prospective clients that you're going after and they buy from the competitor instead of you. That's just part of the game. It's just part of the territory. And it's hardly ever personal, although it may feel personal, but it's hardly ever personal because your client is just looking for the best solution possible to their problem. And they may choose someone else based on a lot of different criteria. However, you still have your worth, you still have your value, and you still provide an excellent product or service. It just may not have been a good fit for that person. And the way I look at it is, if they didn't choose me, maybe that's a blessing because maybe they weren't the right client for me. So whenever I face difficult times, I just keep my eye on my goal and my dream, and it makes it a little bit easier as I work through those challenges because it is work. And that's what I find to be a helpful tip or hint or suggestion for prospective or existing entrepreneurs.
Tony, you've been in business for over 30 years, you shared with us. I'd love for you to bring us back to the first year when you decided to go into business for yourself. How did you discover truly that you had the potential to open multiple businesses that you did and still be successful at being self-employed today?
I believe one of the first things that entrepreneurs need, one of the very first, is a paying customer. Anything else is conversation. And what I mean by that is if someone says they like you or they like what your business is doing or they like the speech that you're giving or the product or service that you're offering, that's nice. But entrepreneurs need to have a win. And I remember my first win, and it was a small opportunity, but I just remember the feeling that a client chose to work with me. And it validated everything that I had worked on in the middle of the night, the marketing materials that I had, the countless hours of studying because I was in a tech space at that time. And I just remember that feeling, that awesome feeling that, wow, someone chose me. And we need that as an entrepreneur. We need that feeling because it validates what we put out in the public as far as our product or service is concerned. It validates all the education that we received. It validates that we have a viable solution. And that one little opportunity, that one client, that small deal, it was tiny. I want to say it was probably less than a couple of $100 at that point, but that was back in the early 90s. And what that gave me was the idea. It gave me the confidence that this can work. And then I was hungry for the next win. I was hungry for the next win. And that became the driving force. I wanted to outperform myself, not others, not the competition, but outperform myself. And that is that spark that all of us as entrepreneurs want to have. When we wake up every single day, we want to win. And a win is not just getting a client, but that's the most important thing. The second component of getting a win is seeing that the solution that you're providing, the product that you're offering, is making a difference for that client. But you can't make a difference for a client unless you have the win first. So there are a lot of people out there who always say, I'm not doing it because of the money. I'm doing it because of this. And what I would say is then you need to go into charity work, or you need to continue to be an employee of someone else's company. Because if you look at a business as a vehicle, a car that's on a long distance road trip, you can't go anywhere unless you have gas in that vehicle. And revenue, money, your income is the gas that fuels that vehicle from your origination point to your destination. So money is extremely important in business. It's an absolute must to have. You are not in business unless you're generating revenue. So we're constantly looking for wins.
Absolutely love this. My goodness. I want to hear about where we can find you, because I have to tell you, I'm listening to you, and I know for you listening all the way to this point, you are as invested, I know, as I am right now listening to Tony, giving us all these nuggets and helping us through our journey of self-employment. It's not easy, right? We know this, but it's possible. And so, Tony, in the show notes, we are sharing your website and all the work that you have been able to accomplish and what you do today. But I'd love for you to spend a little bit more time with us to tell us about where you hang out online, where can we connect with you, what's going on with Tony, and what can you do to continue to serve us?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I primarily hang out on LinkedIn. And the reason for that is because that's where clients hang out. So if I'm a fisherman and I'm looking to catch big fish, I can't cast my rod out into an open field. It has to be in a body of water. And right now, that's the largest body of water that I found that have the fish that I'm looking for. So I'm on LinkedIn primarily, although I do post on Facebook, Instagram, and have a YouTube channel as well. I think if the audience really wants to get a deeper understanding of entrepreneurship, I would say the first step is probably reading my book, The Gift of Pain. And they can find that at giftofpainbook.com. And Martine, the reason why I say that is this. It's a memoir, and it details all of the challenges that you and I may face in life, that the audience members are going to face in their personal lives, and even in their business lives. It goes into detail. But what it speaks to is the resilience that you will be rewarded, that trait that you'll develop, that characteristic of determination, despite everything that's going on in life. And out of all of the things that I detail in that book, Personal Challenges, every single year my business grew, several times substantially, during a period while I had the worst challenges I ever faced in personal life. And I think that that's an excellent start. And then from there, they can go to my website, tonyrkitchens.com. And I do a lot of one-on-one strategy sessions, coaching for individuals looking to start businesses or existing business owners. But even more important than that are the sessions that I deal with people who are looking to move beyond their current circumstances to achieve success in other areas in life. And it's a very detailed program and it's very effective. So those are the two ways that people could connect with me today. And I look forward to speaking to any audience member that's looking to connect with me. I do answer my emails personally. That's a hallmark of a good business person. And I do return phone calls.
Excellent. Thank you so much for providing us all of those wonderful resources. And for you listening, congratulations. You've listened all the way through, which means that you know that the next step for you is to check out the show notes so that you can connect with Tony as he is ready to serve you. Listen, you cannot do this alone. And Tony has been in business for over 30 years. He knows what he's talking about. Okay. And so I take a lot of time in ensuring that I curate amazing individuals that are doing it for you to support you. And so I appreciate you tuning in. And Tony, I appreciate you taking time away from your busy schedule to come and share all of those wonderful insights that you shared with us, in addition to the great resources that are available in the show notes. And so we appreciate you so much, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Martine. I really appreciate it. And I just wish all of the best success to the audience members. Follow your dreams, keep focused on them, understand that things will come up in life, good and bad. But if you keep focusing on the things that you want to do, you will prevail. You will have the life that you want to live. It takes a lot of work, but determination is the first step in that process.
And that's our show for today. You just listened to the Self-Employed Success Podcast. This is the place where you get the insights, the inspiration, the motivation to help you through your self-employment journey. It's possible, and you heard it from Tony. You got this. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. Have you ever wanted to create professional-looking videos but found the process too time-consuming and complicated? Totally get it. I was there too. Well, I have some exciting news for you. I recently discovered BigView Video Editor, and it has completely transformed the way I create my videos. With BigView, you and I can make our videos straight to the point, engaging, and professional in just minutes. BigView's AI technology has made it possible for you and I to create 10 times more videos in a fraction of the time it usually takes us. And the best part is, with their video teleprompter app and video editor, you can capture multiple video takes, choose the best one for your video marketing or your vlog, and you can add automatic subtitles, social media closed captions, and so much more. The best part, it's incredibly easy to use, and you can shoot and edit your videos on the go with just your phone, or you could do it on your desktop. And so if you're ready to streamline your video creation process just like I have and start making amazing videos that connect with your audience, then you need to check out BigView Video Editor just like I did. And I have a best part about it again. You can try it for free. Just head over to the show notes of this episode to get the link to sign up and start creating your own amazing videos today.